Wednesday by doing blazing hot hip hop and R&B jams.
We don't got no label. She say she want bottles.
Vibes and vibes as we go all across Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, all the way to Tanzania to give you nothing but the best on Afro Thursday. Make sure you make a date with us each and every single Friday with me, DJ_Liza Diva,
DJ Cold,
and me, Wanjiko. This is Club One Extra.
Unanifanya nisikie kunyongwa Hadija ai Nani especially ukisonga.
Thank you for joining us on Healthy Living. Stay connected to Voice of America at voanews.com. A look at your kidneys and how they impact your health. And an expert discusses chronic kidney disease and how to protect yourself. And Ivorian psychologist Noor Bakayoko shares some insights on bullying and what can be done.
It's important to avoid major events or major health crises.
How do you know if your cough is due to a serious condition? We'll have some answers. Stay well
and strive to make every day a healthy day.
On KBC Channel 1, we are a TV station like no other. Get a taste of the best in entertainment.
Yes, indeed.
Feel the passion.
Will you promise me?
I swear that you will never lose me. I can't get married to you.
I'm sure you knew about it. That's why you're making fun of me.
Experience the drama.
Get out.
Who is the man in this one?
And the laughter. Move to the beat.
We are live from Broadcasting House.
And get informed on the latest happenings. KBC Channel 1.
Wow.
Yeah! We are the full package.
Oh, yes.
And Kenya's watching.
Thank you very much for joining us.
You only come around to do fake things. Your little bad mind face.
You'll continue behaving like this. I won't go back in the car.
All right, if you don't get in, how will you leave? See you later.
Iker! No, Iker!
Live in my house. I won't allow you to get me into more trouble than I have.
This is also my house, right?
How many times will you favor him over me? What else do I have to do for me to be chosen?
I thought that Sergio was going to ask me to marry him. And he didn't say anything, no, nothing at all.
And the 2 times she was with Danielle, they ended up in the hospital.
What did you say, Mother?
Arturo, what's wrong? What is the matter?
Wildlands.
Nyinyi ndio mnaotuongoza. Ni kweli mmemchagua Mbura awe kiongozi wetu?
Mwanamke sio mtu wa kuamini. anaweza kukua wakati wowote akitaka.
Sio kwa mke wangu.
Kwa nini wanaume waone thamani ya mwanamke katika jamii? Ni kwa sababu ya mila na tamaduni zetu ama ni ubinafsi tu wanaume wako nao?
Mimi ndimi kiongozi wa wafanyakazi wote pale kwenye serikali ya Mura.
Huo uhuni wako hautoshi hata ukucha wa kidole cha mguu wangu.
Tubaki hapo peke yangu, twende sote.
Good afternoon. Welcome to KBC Lunchtime News. My name is Jackie Wambiru. Our sign language interpreter is Susan Thuku. Well, we have a comprehensive bulletin lined up this afternoon, and to kick us off, Makueni Governor Mutula Kilonzo Jr. has faulted the new Social Health Insurance Fund, saying there are several aspects of the system that prevent Kenyans from accessing treatment. Mutula said if this is not fixed in due time, Social Health Insurance Fund may witness a national crisis. This even as the National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah defended the new system of health, terming it the best for the country, urging Kenyans to register for them to access health services with ease.
With less than a month since the new Social Health Insurance Fund was launched, a section of leaders have continued to give their views on the performance of the new system. The latest to weigh in into the matter is Makueni Governor Mutula Kilonzo Jr., who argued that there are several aspects of the program that prevent Kenyans from getting treatment.
We were very worried about the transition. Na tulisema that hiyo sheria ilitengenezwa vibaya because haikuwa na transition. Na tukasema kuna kipengele pale ndani kinasema kwamba yule mtu ambaye hajajisajili asipatiwe huduma. And we were very concerned about that particular section.
He has urged the national government to fix the gaps to prevent a looming national crisis.
Na unaona sasa wananchi wengi ambao hawajajisajili wapati huduma, na wale ambao walikuwa wanapata huduma kama zile za Reno sasa wanaanza kulipa. Hospitali yetu ya Makueni County Referral imejaa chungu zima na machine ni 4 peke yake. So people are coming in shifts all the way to Sunday. Our doctors are working throughout kwa sababu ya this problem ya shift. Kwa hivyo we have a national crisis.
This as Majority Leader of Parliament Kimani Ichung'wah defended the new system of health, terming it the best bet yet for Kenya, urging Kenyans to register for them to access health services with ease.
Na najua ile SHIF, Social Health Insurance Fund, imekuwa na changamoto. Tunachochewa tunaambiwa afadhali NHIF. Nataka niwajulishe warabai. NHIF ni nzuri, lakini ilikuwa ugonjwa wa saratani, unawekewa chemotherapy kadhaa, unaambiwa hizo zingine ujilipie.
Speaking in Rabai constituency Kilifi County, Ichung'wah said unlike the National Health Insurance Fund where the minimum contribution was 500 shillings, compared to SHIF whose minimum contribution is 300 shillings.
Hii Social Health Insurance Fund, ugonjwa wa saratani, ugonjwa wa kisukari ama diabetes, chronic, critical and emergencies fund ambayo iko kwa SHIF. Utaweza ukiwa na kisukari, uwe na saratani, upate emergency, umegongwa na bodaboda ama ukaanguka na gari.
Timothy Kipnosu for Lunchtime News.
Now, impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagwa's impeachment case kicked off at the Milimani High Court Tuesday, whereby Gachagua and several other petitioners challenged the impeachment process, citing inadequate public participation and the failure to substantiate all the allegations brought against him. The three-judge bench, constituted by Chief Justice Martha Koome, held an inter-parties hearing to consider a suit challenging Gachagua's impeachment. We shall now be joining our reporter, Ruth Wamboy, at the Milimani Low Courts, where she shall be updating us on the developments. Ruth?
Yes, good afternoon, Jacqueline Wambiru. We are coming to you live from Milimani Locals, whereby you understand there were inter-party hearing applications here at Milimani for the embattled Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. You understand that on Saturday the parties filed some applications at Kerugoya High Court, and also at Milimani there were also other applications. So the court set today 22nd for hearing of those applications, and today when the parties came, we have not have a substantive moving forward because parties started arguing on whether the bench is properly constituted. So the arguments from the petitioners and the side of the respondents, they have argued for 2 hours since the sitting started at 11 a.m. until few minutes to 1. There was no moving forward. So the bench, led by Justice Eric Ogola, Anthony Murima, and Frida Mugambi, have directed the parties to file a formal application on whether the bench is properly constituted, because they were saying that the bench has been constituted by Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu, whom they cite does not have jurisdiction to constitute a bench, and that a constitutional empanelment of a bench is only the work of the Chief Justice Martha Koome. So those are some of the issues that have been raised by parties, and now they have been given 1 hour to file those applications, and they be responded within that 1 hour. So right now the court is on a break. It will come back at 2 p.m. to rule on that applications. Then we can see whether now the case will move henceforth from there, because they say if the bench is improperly constituted, then this case should not be heard by the bench, and if it is properly constituted, then they need to know why the bench sat on a Saturday at Kerugoya Law Court and gave the sitting for today, 22nd, yet it had said that in its calendar it did not have any date before the 29th of October. So those are some of the issues that have been raised by parties, and now we are waiting to see at 2 p.m. on what will come out, because you see also the President William Ruto has also raised a petition and said that this case should not be heard by the High Court, and that it can only be heard by the Supreme Court. So those are some of the things that you are waiting to see when this application have been ruled. If the bench will sit now from there to listen properly now to the issues, we will have to know now whether this case will continue being heard by the bench at the High Court, or it will go to the Supreme Court as argued by President William Ruto. We are following up on the matter closely, and at 2 p.m. we'll update our viewers more from this side. Back to you, Wambiru.
Well, thank you so much, Ruth Wamboy, there joining us from the Milimani Low Court with various developments from the impeachment case of Rigathi Gachagua, whereby it kicked off a Tuesday. We shall be keeping you updated as we progress. For now, we move on. A caucus of Bobasi constituency professionals in Kisii County has voiced concerns over the potential disruption of this year's national examinations due to the unrepaired Nyamache Bridge, which collapsed a year ago. The professionals noted that officials tasked with transporting examination papers would have to stop nearly 2 kilometers from the sub-county offices and walk. They are now calling on the area member of parliament to take immediate action and repair the bridge.
We understand that the government, through the Kenya Rural Roads Authority, has set aside more than 20 million for the bridge construction. As at now, this has yet to start. We can't understand why this is the case, even as Kenyans from this area continue to suffer.
Tunataka kuona engineer amekuja kwa site so that our children, as they do the exams for the next 3 weeks, wanafunzi wetu wapate amani ya kufanya mtihani. The teachers, as they walk to and from schools, they can be able to access the exam materials in good time.
And on to health matters, women across the country have been challenged to take advantage of the free breast cancer screenings spearheaded by various organizations to determine their health status. Speaking during a sensitization forum in Dandora area, Embakasi North constituency, Dr. Irene Mushoki, Chief Officer Medical Services, Nairobi County, said that late diagnosis has been the biggest contributor of the growing cancer burden in Kenya. The sensitization program, organized by the Ministry of Health, Nairobi County, in conjunction with Beckton and Dixon, an non-governmental organization, together with Mama Lucy Hospital, sought to ensure women in the area get free diagnosis.
We're also providing the latest technology called self-collection for cervical cancer screening, which will enable busy moms and busy women in the community to do collection when it's convenient and when it's private and when it's something that's on their terms. And then we're working very closely with Mama Lucy Hospital to make sure that there's a referral pathway for women that need extra services and potentially need treatment.
Naelimisha wamama, naenda house to house kuambia wamama wakuje wapimwe.
Homa Bay County Governor Gladys Wanga has urged leaders to shift their focus from divisive politics and concentrate on addressing key issues that affect the lives of Kenyans. Speaking during the ordination of Dr. Ida Odinga as the canon of the Anglican Church in Homa Bay County, Wanga stated that leaders should be cautious of the public statements, sentiments echoed by nominated Senator Beatrice Ogola, who also urged leaders to use their platform to promote solutions to the pressing issues facing the country.
If you're elected as a national leader, you're elected to serve everybody. And also watch what you say, because the people listen to what you say. And what we say as leaders can divide this country, or it can reunite this country and put this country together. Now that all this is getting behind us, it is now time to serve the people, to deal with CHA, SHIF, university funding model, corruption, and all the things that affect us as a people.
If you are a leader in this republic, you must serve everybody, because all Kenyans deserve service from all the leaders.
Now, the Kenya National Union of Teachers Secretary General Collins Oyu has alleged corruption in the Teacher Service Commission Pension Department. Oyu, who was presiding over the union's annual general meeting at Kisii Stadium in Kisii County, claimed the teachers were forced to part with an unspecified amount of money for them to reach their pension benefit, calling for disciplinary action against officers demanding bribes to do their job. He also called for the 46,000 teachers' vacancies to be filed and any budgetary challenges be addressed later.
This idea of something small must stop. We want the government to channel the benefits of teachers who have retired without any conditions. And I want to say some of these people who give conditions are quacks. We don't know them. It is not written anywhere that you must dip your hand into your pocket to gain what is rightfully yours. It shouldn't happen at all. There was a budget for the 46,000 to be automated. So we are saying here and now, Teachers Service Commission should absorb all interns. If we have issues, budgetary, then that is the other side of the story.
Poor governance has been cited as a cause of insecurity in the African continent by a section of professors from the African Union. The professors noted that it's time the continent prioritizes enhancing security. Speaking at a symposium conference at St. Paul University, the speakers drew a nexus between the continent's rich natural resources and poor management of the resources, which they say was to blame for the fight of natural resources. They called on communities to work together to improve resources.
This is a real call for us as the academia to bring together the practitioners, the thought leaders from different disciplines to come together and ask ourselves, what can we do to ensure that we no longer just talk about peace, but we actually walk the way of peace and security.
Instruments like military or violence-based security is not leading very far. It is maybe achieving a kind of negative peace, but not a sustainable peace.
In other news, Mandera County government has initiated the augmentation and upgrading of the Banisa water supply system to enhance accessibility to clean water for domestic use. Mandera Governor Mohammed Aidan Khalif says the project and the challenge of unreliable supply and quality of water and, in effect, free residents of Banisa from the threat of waterborne diseases. The water system upgrade is part of the county government's plan to improve the lives of residents.
We decided to approach it from two fronts. One, putting pressure on exploration of underground water, and at the same time taking advantage of the rains when it rains by doing catchment around Banisa town. Our first target is to have about 30 kilometers of road networks, the rising main, not the rising main, the distribution and other networks within the town. And that will mean reducing the water challenges in the town and giving the people of Banisa not just water, but clean water as per the standards of the world.
The hearing of the impeachment case of Rigathi Gachagua was forced to take a break for an hour after the petitioners disagreed with the judges on the constitutionality of the three-judge bench. Gachagua's legal counsel queried the legality of the Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu issuing orders on Friday night to constitute a bench without the consent of the Chief Justice. They also argued some of the files have not been referred to the sitting bench, including the Kerugoya Conservatory orders that stopped the swearing-in of Professor Kithure Kindiki as Deputy President. The hearing resumes at 2 p.m.
The issue is this, that we expected a notification in writing that these judges have been appointed and they would sit on a particular day. All those notifications, including in cases of abductions, have been that the first sitting by a bench has been on a working day. All applications, and I'm aware of this as a fact. So then the first clarifications would be, on what basis would, in an application by the executive, be convened on a Saturday? That is a substantive issue because of the second reason that our background that we are giving.
Easy to speak to the gallery and cast all manner of insinuations and aspersions against them. And if my Lord finds that an application of that nature cannot be made informally without actually filing a formal application and joining the CJ,
we suggest that we be given time to file a formal application. It could not have been filed earlier because the disclosure has to be made here. And since that issue goes to the core of your capacity seat, it ought to be resolved preliminarily. Whether you have been properly empaneled is the most preliminary of preliminary issues.
They were saying only the Chief Justice can constitute this bench. So they actually knew how the bench was constituted, and then possibly the only reason we should be given is why the file was taken to ECJ, possibly because of the absence of the Chief Justice. They will have to tell themselves to why we have the Chief Justice being the head of the judiciary and the Deputy Chief Justice being the deputy head of the judiciary. In the absence, that's what the Constitution provides. In the absence of the Chief Justice, it is the Deputy Chief Justice who is supposed to do administrative work.
Now, Barina's self-help group Land Project members have appealed to the government to offer protection as the process to begin subdivision of the 4,803-acre piece of land in Solai area of Rongai in Nakuru County kicks off. The group secretary Mwati Kariuki said the group had cleared payment of 85 million shillings to the previous landowner by 2006 and could not settle immediately after due to the 2007-2008 post-election violence. On the land since 2006 but have been facing challenges in resettling owing to security challenges.
Court orders ambaye zote zimetolewa, wale wanahusika na kurudisha sisi huko kama security people ndio walikuwa wanachelewa.
Mimi nataka tu serikali tusaidie turudi kwa shamba. Serikali ituingilie tupeo security.
And now we shall be taking a look at the weekly segment of My Culture, taking a look at the history of Nabongo Mumi. This is the Nabongo Cultural Center and Mausoleum. This center preserves the legacy of arguably Kenya's sole surviving kingdom. It is neatly tucked at Matungo Market in the outskirts of Mumias town, Kakamega County. The building houses the rich culture of the Wanga kingdom, which dates back to the 11th century.
He did this as this only kingdom in Kenya, and he wanted all the Kenyan custodian or the Kenyan citizen to learn the culture of the Wangan community, with the reference knowing that this is the only kingdom which was led by the king. This is the only community which was ruled by the king.
Inside the building is a display of cultural artifacts and literature that would do more than excite history students. The artifacts date back to as early as 1883. Among them is a three-legged king's chair, traditional weapons like arrows and bows, currency, complete with attire worn by the king,
which has been improvised with a modern cup to take water or porridge. Without today, you have the pans which were made from the clay soil. Those were the pots used to cook different type of food. These are the ancient straws. This one, they has a hollow part beneath them, which allow the native beer to pass through as they suck by the far ends. We have the one, after that, in literate time, the one who is reading. These are modernized persons. This was done during the ruling of Nabongo, made the legendary, where words which they used to ferment milk, and from that milk they could obtain the ghee fats, which was used to cook and also to other activity. Same quart, it can be splitted into 2 equal parts, and we acquire the calabash, which is the ancient cup.
The outfit is reportedly made from Columbus monkey and leopard skins. Also on display is one of the games played as a pastime known as a jua. The mausoleum within the center holds the remains of 4 kings who ruled at different times: Wamukoya, Shiundu, Mumia and Shitawa. This site attracts history enthusiasts, especially students and researchers eager to learn about the Wanga Kingdom's tradition. A highlight of the center is this replica of a traditional village. This section is reserved for the elders who would often gather to discuss issues affecting the communities. The discussions go on as they enjoy the traditional brew. The Nabongo Cultural Center and Mausoleum not only preserves the history of Western Kenya, but also serves as a cultural beacon for the entire East African region and beyond. With our guide, Oliver Kerr, we continue to explore the treasures and venture into the mausoleum. Here, visitors are welcomed with a detailed genealogy of Mwanga III, tracing his lineage through Kabiala, Murono, Mutende, Wanga, Wamoi Wekoba, Mugoya and Sakwa.
And from that
here, artifacts stored range from calabashes, arrows and bows to currency, traditional gourds and the ajur game, as well as drinking straws used for native beer.
Community whereby the Swahili community can make the reeds and palm leaves to make a tray, the ancient tray. This one was used to serve food on high table. Economic activities which these people used to do during their lifetime. They could hunt using the earth. The community, they used the black iron ore to make tools. Some of the tools were the hoe. Hoe were used for farming activity, and you have this bell which was tied around the neck for a bull for identification of somebody's heads. We have the precious stones which were implied in a pot containing water so that to keep the water cool.
The walls are adorned with pictures of leaders who visited the king at his cultural hub. One notable artifact is a pyramid-shaped copper-coated gift which His Majesty the King received during his visit to the Bake Kingdom in Congo. The Nabongo Cultural Center and Mausoleum is a treasure trove of historical and cultural knowledge, offering a glimpse into the vibrant past of the Wanga Kingdom.
The importance for His Royal Majesty to restore these artifacts in his own museum was to let the Wangan community custodians, the young custodians, to come and learn their culture, which their forefathers were used to pass through in their own lifetime.
Jackie Wambiru, My Culture.
Now, on education matters, the 2024 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education candidates began the exams today with over 960,000 students sitting the month-long test countrywide. According to a timetable released by Kenya Examination Council (NEC), French, German, Sign Language, Arabic, Music and Home Science will dominate the first week of this year's KCSE examinations. At Jamhuri High School in Nairobi, 13 candidates set French oral, while 4 undertook Arabic oral exams earlier today. The school's management has expressed optimism that the over 200 candidates sitting KCSE this year in the school have been adequately prepared to register exemplary results.
Of 267, up from 230 last year. And our projection this year is a mean of 8.0 plus, and we are up to the task. We are working for the projection. We have worked tirelessly. The boys have been calm, and I want to believe we have prepared them well. And we are hoping to achieve the mean grade of 8 this year. Arabic today, paper 3, and French paper 3. And Arabic is done. We had 4 candidates for Arabic, they are already done. And we have 13 students for French, and they will be through by round 1. And we want to believe they will do well.
Well, that report brings us to our first break here on Lunchtime News. Don't go too far, we still have more news coming up.
We asked the children, how many of you brushed this morning? And this little boy, his hand didn't go up. And I said, well, why didn't you brush this morning? He said, my brother was using the toothbrush. If I'd waited for him, I would have been late for school. I'm sorry, I get a bit emotional when it comes to that. To be able to change a child's life, to be able to bring back that confidence about their smile, for me, is phenomenal.
Never be the same by your strength. Tell you this vibe, this lovely vibe, this is the vibe on the beach side. Why you worry? Why you worry? Worry is unnecessary. Joys they are hearing, and that is why children are living. Chica. I'm walking, I'm talking, I'm moving the positive vibe. Stop at my face. You only come around to do fake things. Your little bad mind face.
Welcome back. This is Lunchtime News. About 598 farmers from vulnerable communities in Lunga Lunga Sub-County, Kwale County, have received farm inputs worth 2.5 million shillings donated by Kids Care Kenya in partnership with the Kwale County government. The farmers received 5 tons of certified seeds comprising of green grams and cowpeas, together with fertilizers and pesticides to maximize production.
Tulishauriana kwamba ni mbegu gani ambazo zinaweza zikapandwa kwa wakati huu, na ndio maana tukafikiria kwenda kupata mbegu za pojo pamoja na kunde ambazo kwamba hazihitaji mvua nyingi sana, na hivyo basi tunatumaini kwamba baada ya kupanda, hata kama mvua hazitakuwa nyingi, basi kuna uwezekano kwamba tunaweza wakulima wetu wakavuna na kukawa na chakula mezani.
Tunanunua mbegu takriban tani 5 za pojo na kunde ambazo pia zitasambazwa katika wodi zote za kaunti hii ya Kwale.
Kwa kuwa si mara ya kwanza tunapokea mbegu kutoka Kids Care, imetusaidia sana tu kwa sababu imepunguza yale makali ya uchumi. Hasa tukiona kwamba nchi yetu mahali imefika kidogo uchumi inakuwa ni changamoto.
Now let's talk business. Kenya continued to shine in the African Tourism and Travel Awards, clinching various awards during the awards held in Diani, Kwale County. Nairobi was awarded Africa's leading business travel destination, while Kenya Airways won the award for Africa's leading airline and Africa's leading airline for business class. Jomo Kenyatta International Airport also added to Kenya's aviation accolades by being voted Africa's leading airport in business.
For the umpteenth time, Kenya's world-beating tours and travel products shone during the World Travel Awards Africa Gala Ceremony 2024 at the Diamonds Leisure Beach and Golf Resort in Diani, Kwale County. The event brought together leaders and innovators from across the continent to celebrate the travel and hospitality organization setting new standards for excellence and innovation in the industry. The world-famous Diani Beach was once again recognized as Africa's leading beach destination, solidifying its appeal to both international and local travelers. During the awards, Tanzania was crowned Africa's leading destination, with the Tanzanian Tourist Board receiving the honor of Africa's leading tourist board. The Fairmount Kenya Safari Club secured the accolade of Africa's leading hotel, while Somerset Westview in Nairobi was honored as Africa's leading service apartments. In the newcomer categories, Angama Amboseli, a tented lodge nestled in Kenya's Kimana Sanctuary, was recognized as Africa's leading new hotel. The South African city of Durban earned the title of Africa's leading meetings and conference destination, while Cape Town was recognized as Africa's leading cruise port.
We currently are a mix of local mice. We also have international meetings that come to our country. And to say the truth, we are benefiting from what is coming out from the international market. And of course, whatever happens on the international scene affects a lot on these meetings.
You know, this should be a pot of gold. It should be for young people. They should be saying, I don't want to leave Kenya. I want to come back to Kenya. And I want to make the hospitality here in this country the best in the world.
Ian Muse for Lunchtime News.
Engineers want procurement laws reviewed to earmark at least 40% of public-private partnership projects for locals to build capacity within the country. Institution of Engineers of Kenya President Engineer Shama Kiteme says local engineering firms are often edged out of projects by foreign firms.
Regretfully, we have seen other professions, their compensation has been improved over the period, but not for engineers. And for what reason? They enjoy non-practicing allowance, risk allowance, and others, but engineers do not. IEK is committed to see that this injustice is corrected. To succeed, we need to take care of welfare of engineers. More engineers need to be recruited in various state departments, in counties and sagas, but also where they are recruited, they need to be compensated fairly. As IEK, we are making a strong case for this to be a reality.
From school to a professional engineer, there has been challenges, and all of you here are witnesses. And I've been engaging with the bodies, IEK, EBK, to see and mentor and ensure those engineers have internships that help them transition from graduates to professional engineers in due time. We know that no one lives forever, and skill transfer is part of our responsibility as professionals.
The government has been urged to encourage monetization of talents among the youth as part of efforts to create jobs. Speaking during the launch of Bongo Star Search Kenya edition in Nairobi, stakeholders in the creative and entertainment industry highlighted the urgent need for interventions to harness the potential of young Kenyans in the industry. Youth were also encouraged to strive in ensuring their creative content is monetized. The program aims at offering artists a platform to showcase their skills and earn a living in the entertainment sector.
What we are hoping is governments begin to see this. We have the East African community, and we hope that the East African community can team up with the various governments across the different markets to be able to merge to say, you know, are there incentives that they can give musicians when they come to perform here, perform there? Can they partner with us to be able to run this journey, to commercialize this? Because at the end of the day, the arts And what Rita has proven over the past 15 years is that this is a business.
When you compete in Belmo Star Search, people start knowing you by your first name everywhere you go. Because if you make it to the top 10, to the top 5, to the winner, then you have created yourself an ID that now everybody knows who you are. So it's up to you which doors are you going to knock. Unlike when you're just on the street, nobody knows who you are.
Millers are now required to fortify rice in efforts aimed at ensuring that consumers get the right nutrients from the produce. Health and Professional Standards Principal Secretary Mary Kariuki says a policy brief on rice fortification has been drafted and rice millers will soon be sensitized on the nutrients to be added.
Kenya spent 55 billion shillings to import about 1 million tons of rice last year to meet growing demand. To ensure that rice consumed in Kenya has the required nutrients, millers will soon be required to fortify white rice.
These initiatives have increased the availability of essential micronutrients like iron, vitamin A, vitamin B complex, and zinc.
Already, the Kenya Bureau of Standards has formulated a draft policy that will regulate rice fortification.
The role of the private sector is essential, and contribution will be key to expanding access to fortified food across the region.
The rice fortification draft policy comes after the East African Community member states adopted the regional rice fortification laws.
Because the consumption of rice is increasing within African country, we want to believe that this rice needs to have nutrients in. You know, the rice is white rice. People need white rice, and that is carbohydrates.
As part of the initiative, rice importers will be required to source the commodity from countries that fortify their rice or partner with millers to set up fortification lines.
Including the premix suppliers, and these are suppliers who are involved in fortificant production and working closely with the millers to ensure that at least the compliance levels come up.
Other food commodities that currently require fortification in Kenya are maize and wheat flour, edible oils and salts. Benson Rioba reporting for Lunchtime News.
And now in other news, now we head to the corridors of justice where President William Ruto has formally filed a preliminary objection against the petition by impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, which is under consideration at the Milimani Court of Law. The objection by Ruto through his counsel as the fifth respondent raises critical questions regarding the court's jurisdiction and the validity of the petition itself. According to the notice, the president through his lawyers argue that the court lacks jurisdiction to entertain the petition, citing Article 165, Section 5 of Part A of the Constitution, which reserves such matters exclusively from the Supreme Court. The objection further contends that the petition contravenes several constitutional provisions, including Article 140, which mandates that disputes arising from presidential electoral processes be determined solely by the Supreme Court. Now, Kenyans have been urged to be proactive in climate resilience programs as opposed to waiting for government interventions. This comes amidst concerns of unpredictable weather conditions in the country, which has affected agriculture and livestock activities. The remarks were made during the pre-COP29 sensitization workshop organized by civil society organizations under the Kenya Climate Change Working Group held in Nairobi. The COP29 meeting is set to take place in Baku, Azerbaijan between 11th to 22nd of November this year.
civil society organizations have a role to play, the government has a role to play, our development partners also have a role to play, and most importantly, the media also have a role to play.
Our first priority is to push for the new collective quantifiable goal on climate finance, which aims to set a global finance goal starting from the floor of USD 100 billion per year by 2025.
Civil society are ready to share these experiences and evidence to enhance and accelerate adaptation, resilience, and achievement of transformative change in our communities.
Kenya has an unfortunate, bitter recent experience of what climate change makes to people's life, and I think it's therefore imperative that Kenya contributes, and it has a lot of contribute to the forthcoming discussion.
And on our segment this week on magical scenes, we shall be taking a look at the pigeons. So the story is compiled by Irene Muchua Odim. Let's take a look.
The domestication of pigeons dates back over 5,000 years, primarily in the Middle East, where they were valued for their meat and their extraordinary homing abilities. These traits made pigeons indispensable during times of war, as they were employed as messengers, delivering vital information across vast distances. One of the most famous pigeons in history, Shahami, served in World War I, delivering a crucial message that saved nearly 200 soldiers despite sustaining injuries. This act of bravery highlights the deep bond between humans and pigeons, a relationship that has evolved over millennia. In Kenya, several pigeon species thrive in diverse environments, showcasing the country's rich birds diversity. Among the most notable are the African collared dove, the rock pigeon, and the striking Nicobar pigeon.
When you are told about any animal is of this species, it means they are sharing the same characteristics. Now that's why now we have classified all pigeons as one species. But in that category, now we have different types of breed from different countries. From the Jacobin, lionhead, the frillback, we have the German beety homer, we have the French modern, we have the Indian fantails. But now in all pigeons, all of them were crossbreed from the rock pigeon. And not all pigeons were kept from the same purpose. There are those pigeons that were kept for beauty, like the frillback, the Jacobin. They were kept for beauty and their feathers. There are others that were kept for sending messages. An example of them is the German beety homer. Others were kept for meat, like the king pigeon and the French modern. Others were kept for sound, like the trumpeters.
The African collared dove is easily recognized by its distinctive black collar on the back of its neck. Commonly found in both urban and rural settings, this dove adds a melodic, cawing sound to the Kenyan landscape, making it a familiar companion to many.
The young ones of pigeons are not called chicks like those of hens. They are called scubas. And they lay 2 eggs, and there's no probability of them hatching those eggs into same gender. The hatching of that eggs will be one male, one female. The intelligent birds, and they can also see colors that we cannot see. The ultraviolet color they can see, but we human beings cannot see.
The rock pigeon are descendants of the wild rock dove, is another species that has adapted remarkably to urban life. Pigeons are more than just common birds. They are a testament to the intricate relationship between humans and nature, from their historical roles as messengers to their presence in our cities and countryside. They remind us of the resilience and adaptability of wildlife. Nchuma Odim, Magical Sense.
And now we take a look at sports news, where Crystal Palace goalkeeper's second-half blunder handed Nottingham Forest a hard-fought 1-0 victory in the English Premier League match played at the City Ground. Despite Eberechi Eze and Eddie Nketiah's best effort, both hitting the woodwork, Palace were unable to unlock Forest's stubborn backline. They are one of the 4 Premier League teams alongside Ipswich, Southampton and Wolves who are yet to find a winning formula this season.
Strip kick off. There was a moment when
Well, we do apologize for that. Now we take a different story, where Brazil forward Neymar has made his first appearance for Al Hilal in over a year after recovering from surgery following a ruptured anterior cruciate ligament and meniscus in his left knee. The 32-year-old came in the 77th minute of his side's 5-4 win over UAE Pro League side Al Ain in the Asian Champions League. Neymar sustained the injury on the 17th of October last year while playing for Brazil in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier with Uruguay. The forward, who is Brazil's male all-time top goal scorer, underwent surgery the following month. Neymar moved to Saudi Arabia from Paris Saint-Germain for a fee understood to be worth about 90 million euros in August 2023. He was sidelined for multiple months during his last 2 seasons with PSG because of his ankle injuries. He made 5 appearances for Al Hilal. Well, that brings us to the end of our bulletin this afternoon. Thank you so much for choosing Lunchtime News. My name is Jackie Wambiru. Sign language interpreter is Susan Fuku. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Welcome to the Kenya Deposit Insurance Corporation, or KDIC, a state corporation established under the KDI Act Cap 487C. KDIC. Safer, stronger together.
Nyinyi ndio mnaotuongoza. Ni kweli mmemchagua Mbura awe kiongozi wetu.
Mwanamke sio mtu wa kuamini. Anaweza kukua wakati wowote akitaka.
Sio kwa mke wangu.
Kwa nini wanaume waone thamani ya mwanamke katika jamii? Ni kwa sababu ya mila na tamaduni zetu ama ni ubinafsi tu wanaume wako nao?
Mimi ndimi kiongozi wa wafanyakazi wote pale kwenye serikali ya Mbura.
Huo uhuni wako hautoshi hata ukucha wa kidole cha mguu wangu.
Tubaki hapo peke yangu, twende sote.
Hi guys, I am Ambassador Mandela of Sarabi.
I am Bella of Sarabi.
I am Adam from Sarabi. And we just want to let you know, tune in to this channel and don't leave this channel because Grapevine is the place to be.
Wangdi wati edala, wangdi wati epolo, wangdi wati edala yesorwakowa.
My good people of the 254 and beyond, what's up? How you doing? I bet that you've had a lovely day because you've had a long weekend. How was your Mashujaa day, Mula?
That was dope. Yeah? I really enjoyed, man. Yeah? Kila kitu was dope. Also, nimeona kwa industry pia, you know, Otile Brown featuring Breeder wametoa ngoma nyingine mpya.
Yeah, it's such a good song.
Such a dope song, man.
Yeah.
And then there are events after events after events. So, guys, keep it right here because this is the show tonight. We got you everything that went down over the weekend.
Absolutely. You know that when you see us on your screens, it is time for you to get to know what is happening on the social media streets as well as the entertainment scene at large. And we are about to get into that right now. My name is Vivian Dagwa, or you can simply just call me Miss V.
Jacques Mula, the party.co.ke, aka your girlfriend got my website.
And you know what this right here is.
Group 1.
What you gotta do.
Alright, we're kicking off the show with the Showcase Wednesday that went down at the Alliance Française. And this time round, guess what? They featured the one and only Sarabi Band. Let's check it out.
Sarabi Band was and still is undisputedly the best East African live performance band. Sarabi, which was formed in the 90s, is made up of 7 young men and a lady, and despite their young age, they have over the years beaten all odds to cement a position amongst other greatest bands.
If you stand with the truth, no need to fear. Difference for the children of the land.
On Showcase Wednesday, hosted by the Alliance Française, they featured Sarabi Band for the first time after years of their musical break. Sarabi, which is known for their amazing energy on stage, showed their dynamic and versatility by incorporating different genres such as benga, Afrobeat, reggae, and rock, which made the attendees go wild. Their a wholesomely blend of different traditional Kenyan sounds with a cappella and traditional Kenyan dances brought an electrifying energy to the room as everyone vibed to their performance. After the night, satisfaction was guaranteed as many people observed that Sarabi Band were fully back and had claimed their dominance as the best band in East Africa.
Sarabi Band, oh my. If there are people who can sing, then it definitely has to be Sarabi Band. And after their hiatus, they are back, and they are back to take all of this and then some. We welcome them back.